Ma'am Telma Abahar. We are the Group 5, and we are here to report the Compensation Administration. I am Joparel B. Abrasaldo.
I'm Janayan B. Saragantin.
And I am James Mark E. Zaraga.
And I'm Luis C. Sogi.
Chapter 1, Foundation of Compensation of Administration. Compensation Administration of Human Resource Management is considered as the heart of the human resource function because of its complexity in developing pay structure, implementing compensation system, and controlling its implementation and administration. Nature of compensation. Compensation means the whole package of basic salary and benefits that the company provides. It equates compensation with their contribution to the organization. When we say contribution to the organization, there are many considerations on how to monetize contribution to the organization in the form of actual salary. Basic types of compensation. Base pay. It is the basic pay given to the employee for the actual work rendered, usually in the form of salary or wage. It is the pay that was negotiated and agreed upon by the employee and the employer during the hiring process. Variable pay. It is the pay linked to actual accomplishment and performance, such as bonuses or incentives based on a target sales quota or target productivity. Number 4. Incentives can be paid on individual, group, or team basis. In a much wider scope, incentives can be provided for all employers regardless of rank. There are reasons for giving incentives: a large reduction in expenses or an increase in sale volume. Also, the high customer satisfaction and increased percentage of loyal customer. Benefits. It is an indirect rewards which may either be government mandated or voluntarily given by the employer. Benefits help employees to further cope with the demands of the job and their personal life. Classification of compensation. Direct compensation. Direct compensation, it refers to the wage paid by employers to employee in exchange for work. Indirect compensation. Indirect compensation, it refers to the various forms of non-monetary pay offered to employees that can include everything from common contractual features to useful attractive benefits. Policies affecting compensation. Internal alignment. Internal alignment is the set of commitments, strategies, policies, procedure, system, and behaviors that support integrated customers' decision making based on suppliers' commercial and ethical commitment and performances. External competitiveness. It refers to the pay relationship among organizations. The organization pay relative to its competitors. Employee contribution. Employee contribution is also called after tax. It is planned contribution from employees, either mandatory, voluntarily, that are allocated to a separate account. Employee contribution. Management of the pay system. Management of the pay system. The management fit model is a common method because this method allows a manager to decide pay rates without the strict confines of pay rates and scales. Components of a compensation system. Job analysis is a family of procedures to identify the content of a job in terms of the activities it involves in addition to the attributes or requirements necessary to perform those activities. Job description. Job description describes the general tools or other related duties and responsibility of a position. Job evaluation is the process of comparing a job against other jobs within the organization to determine the appropriate pay rate. Pay structure is a collection of wage grades, levels, or bands that link related jobs within a hierarchy or series. Salary survey is a tool specifically for remuneration specialists and managers to define a fair and competitive salary for the employees of a company. Policies and regulation. Policies are rules that are made by organizations to achieve their aims and goals. Regulation are rules that are made to make people comply and behave in a certain manner. Difference between wage and salary. Salary, the fixed amount of pay given usually twice a month. So salary, a fixed regular payment typically paid on a monthly or bi-weekly basis, but often expressed as an annual sum. Wage, mean an hourly or daily based pay for work rendered. Wage is payment made by an employer to an employee for work done in a specific period of time, mean an hourly or daily based fee for work rendered. Chapter 2. Job Values and Compensation Decision. Job Analysis plays a crucial role in the many facets of human resource management. Nature of job analysis. Job analysis plays a crucial role in compensation management. First, organizations need to establish a fair compensation structure. Dimension of job analysis. Job analysis method. Information to be collected. Knowledge. Knowledge is a familiarity gained through experience or association. Skill and abilities. Tasks that you naturally do well, talents and strengths that you bring to the table as a student and or an employee. Qualification, a quality or accomplishment that makes someone suitable for a particular job or activity. Personality traits, a relatively stable, consistent, and enduring internal characteristic that is inferred from a pattern of behaviors, attitudes, feelings, and habits in the individual. Work conditions, the demands, environment, and terms of job that influence the satisfaction of employees. Contribution to organizational goals, employee and management per- performance, productivity, profitability, innovation, market share, and responsibility goals. Level of analysis pertains to employee attribute where knowledge, skills, abilities, and personality characteristics needed to perform the job. Sources of information. Job analysis. They are the ones who currently perform the job and are considered to be the best person who can describe the details of the job. Methods of collecting information. Methods that job analysis uses in collecting information are observation. Observation, the action or process of observing something or someone carefully or in order to gain information. Interview, a meeting of people face-to-face, especially for consultation. Survey questionnaire, a research instrument comprising sets of questions used to obtain answers from respondents.
Okay, now let's proceed to the chapter 3. Salary structure decision. Minimum wage. Minimum wage is the least possible amount of compensation that an organization of employer is required to pay its employees for work performed for a particular period. The name purpose of the minimum wage. Minimum wage is set by a decree, wage board or council, a reportable authority. So the main purpose of minimum wage is to avoid any unfair low pay. Salary structure. Salary structure enables organizations to reward outstanding performance and enhance the skill of employees while monitoring the salary range for each job. A salary structure is defined as the hierarchy of jobs corresponding salary range. In Philippines, salary structure are determined by a lot of factors. For salary structure, it's allowed pay increase that will determine promotion, career development, and means pay without promotion. There are a factor affecting salary structure: the organization ability to pay, supply and demand of labor, prevailing market rate, living wage, and productivity. Organization ability to pay is the organization has to invest in its employees. Supply and demand of labor is a kind in situation should be considered in developing the salary structure. Prevailing market rates. This allows for informative of salaries given which help in employee retention and loyalty. Living wage reflect the ability of the employees to provide for their personal and their families' needs. Productivity, it measures the employees' contribution to the organization. Four basic principles of compensation: meritocracy, competitiveness, and internal equity, return on investment. Competitiveness. Salary structure are based not only on job evaluation but also on benchmark jobs taken from market rate analysis. Return on investment. In developing the salary structure, the organization should foresee how to pay rates can drive success for the entire organization. Essentially, this is significant in the achievement of the organization goals and objectives. Pay grades. Pay grades is a complete the salary structure. It is possible for an organization to deal with many jobs rates. Jobs of the same value will be in the same pay grades. Types of salary structure. Grade pay structure. It can be either be narrow or broad. Pay structure. It can be either be narrow or broad graded. It consists of the sequence of job grades with corresponding range of 20% to 40% for narrow graded and 40% to 50% for broad graded. Broadband. A broadband. It is similar to a graded structure but with a few bands of 5 to 6 in a wide pay range of 50% to 80%. It collapses the pay grades into fewer bands. It means to reward performance more on salary progression. Job family structure. It is pay structure. There is a separate pay grade for each job's family. A job family consists of related or similar job titles with level that progress through task activities, skill, and competencies. It provides a better set of criteria to promote employees. That would be all in chapter 3. Thank
So
you.
now I will going to discuss the chapter 4. It is uh, focused on forms of compensation. So let's start with the compensation philosophies. First, this means that a compensation philosophy is an underlying principles for settling the organizations, positions, and the reasons for providing such salaries. Second, contingent pay. So, contingent pay is defined as the addition paid to the base pay which is socially based on past performance. And the third, compensation for executive. Well, it means that this includes their basic salary, incentives, houses, and other bonuses that are attached to their position in the organization. So now, I will going to explain the forms of compensation. So when we say the word compensation, it is about something that is done or given to make up for damage, trouble, or etc. So, well, it demonstrates consistency, which helps in employee attraction and retention. So, now, I will going to discuss the contingent pay. So, contingent pay is defined as the addition or pay to the base pay which is usually based or past performance. So, well, explain that when we say contingent pay, it is depending on something that something or else that might or might not happen. So it is also related to individual, team, or organization, or in wide performance. So we have to proceed and discuss about the compensation for executives. So now, this includes their basic salary or incentives. It includes bonuses and other bonuses that are attached to their position in their organization. So it means that there was totally packages for executives, which are etc. or else it is settled or control agreement for organization and executive. So compensation for salespeople, since that the sales industry or has a unique way of recording its people. So, for example, straight salary or no commission. Many organizations use this pay scheme or especially for products with fluctuating demand. So, there are parts of compensation for salespeople. First, commission only. Second, draw against commission. Third, profit margin. And fourth, tertiary volume. Fifth, cap commissioning. And sixth, the performance gate. And the last is the set rate. So now we're going to discuss the computation organizations of payroll system. So this is one of the most tedious tasks of compensation administration in payroll processing. So let's give some explanation of this. So first, the computer or organization of payroll is a welcome respite for the often team consuming manual system, and there is more payroll software dedicated to replace the often slow manual system. So now we are in compensation issues. So this is one of the processing issues in compensation administration and its executive compensation. So there is a never-ending argument on how or high it should. So there be a ceiling or a cap so that not be able to high that may trigger control allow the lower ranks. Well, as I've said, and according to Wharton professor, there is really not ideal number, but not be too high that lower ranking employees may be demoralized. When we say demoralized, it is a course or someone to lose hope. So, or courage or confidence to weaken the moral of a person or a group. So, in order for that, we have a full or under compensated. So that's all, and thank you.
And now let's proceed to the chapter 5. Employee Benefits Administration. Through the years, the Philippine government has expanded and improved benefits provided to employees. These benefits aim to uplift the work life of employees. A company needs employees who will work for them in order to make their business grow in the business industry. On the other hand, the company pays their employees and are obliged to give them the benefits they deserve when a company cannot give the benefits that the employees deserve. Then they must be reported to the DOLE, and a company must also ensure the safety and security for their employees. These benefits can uplift the employees' spirit to work hard and do better in their field to their work. Though some company are not really giving importance of the employees' rights and are abusing them and threatens them to be fired and taking advantage of poverty. That is why the government has specific supervision in order to avoid this kind of incident. Objectives and justification of employee benefits. Employee benefits are requisites or perks which given to employees on top of their salaries or wages. Aside from those mandated by law, organizations have various benefits packages to retain high performers in those productivity and attract highly qualified and competent people. Employee benefits are required to every company in order for them to be more lively and gain more interest in working to what they usually do. Each of us needs to work for our family, and working in a company that gives employee benefits can attract more employees who are also looking for a company that can give them what they deserve. Government mandated compensation and benefits. The government through the Department of Labor and Employment duly has listed down the monetary benefits for Filipino employee working in the Philippines duly 2019. Employees have legal and moral responsibility to provide their workers with government mandated employee benefits whether they like it or not under the Labor Code of the Philippines. Under the Code of the Philippines, employees are entitled to monetary benefits such, such as the minimum wage, 13th month of pay, and overtime pay among the others. In addition, the Labor Code also requires employers to become members of the Pag-ibig Fund, PhilHealth, and SSS, as well as remit monthly contribution on behalf of their employees to these government offices. That could be all.